Hi guys, it's Becky. Here to do another AMA. I know I was supposed to do this on Wednesday, but then stuff happened like work and all that getting in the way. So I was gonna do it yesterday, and then other things happened, and so I'm doing it today. And so hopefully everyone still wants to see me talk about stuff. Um, let's get into it then. The first question is from Enigmo. He says, why lifting versus other forms of fitness? And why lifting? Probably for me, it's when I decided enough was enough, and I needed to really take my health into consideration and really work on getting fit and doing all that. I looked back on my life at those times that I felt fittest, those times that I had been like awesome and amazing and had been able to do the most. And probably those times would have been when I was doing survival, when I was 17, and I was carrying a pack that weighed more than I did, up hills and down hills and across rocks and just backcountry, bushwhacking it and all of that. It was hard. It was really hard. It put my body through a lot of stress to do that, and my body thrived on that. It was something that I just responded really greatly to. Another time would have been when I had a job where I was mostly moving boxes all day long, picking up heavy stuff, moving it, picking up heavy stuff, moving it, picking up heavy stuff, moving it. And it's like, you know, I felt awesome when I was doing that. That was great. So when my husband started lifting and he was just loving it so much, I was like, well, I could do that too. I could be good at that. Um, why don't I give it a try? And I did, and I loved it, and I fell in love with it, and I'm still in love with it, and I still want to do that. I want to be just as strong as possible. I want to see how much I can take, how much I can put my body through, and watch it bounce back. That's kind of amazing and awesome. And yeah, so that's why lifting versus other things. I mean, there are other things that I love to do, like it's been so many years, but I used to love rock climbing. It was so great. And hopefully I'll find some time soon, maybe, to maybe do that a bit more, because I used to do that a lot when I was younger before I got married. Um, so, Solid Dreams asks, what makes me cry? Usually sappy movies. Yeah. But then he says, how do you smile like that? And I think you're referring to the smiles that I usually, the smile that everybody seems to love. And how that came about was mostly because I had been told that I take really crappy selfies, and I do, and it's really difficult to, like, you're holding out the phone and you're like, you know how do you like take yourself seriously when you're doing that, right? And I felt like an absolutely narcissistic douche canoe, like being like, you know, that sort of thing. So I started making faces, and so that's one of the faces that I made, was that face. It's just, there are other faces that will never see the light of day that are all over my phone from my selfies that are like, just stupid things. But yeah, so that's it. And so basically, you smile, open your mouth, and make your eyes big, and that's how you do it. And you can too. But yeah, that's how you do that. Crab Duck wants to know why. Just why? Because I said so. That's why. Also, what has made me laugh the most this week? And there's two things this last week that made me laugh the most. The first was the many multiple discussion threads that Crab Duck, yourself, Enigmo, Thriveability, and Lesson were just contributing to, just all over the place. Like, 200 comment threads that were just incredibly hilarious. They filled me with so much joy that the joy like bubbled up out of me in the form of giggling, even when I probably shouldn't have been giggling at things like at work. So that was great. The second one was on Monday when I was lifting. These dudes were coming in, and they've been in there before when I was lifting, and they were doing deadlifts and doing all that, and while between sets they started talking about like twerking. I was like, I can't twerk, I don't know how, and this guy decides he's gonna show me how to twerk, and he's like moving his butt and like bending over and making a bounce, and I was like, he's this big like lifty dude and he's twerking in the power room for me, and that was just amazing. There's nothing funnier. Nothing funnier. That was great. My best point of the week is also something that Crab Duck wants to know. PR on my overhead press. That was amazing. And I was really, really happy about it. No, my bench press. My bench press PR. Yes, I got a plate. Got a plate on. I did a dance. I danced. I didn't twerk. I danced. But yeah, so that's what happened. All right. Just Steve wants to know if I could dress like a pirate for this AMA. I could. Kryptonite says, do the AMA in a pirate voice. I say, no. Not all of it. Can you rent a parrot? Also Kryptonite. I don't even know where to rent a parrot from. So, no. Can I knit? Yes. This is something I can do. So, let me get my teaching socks out. These are actually socks that I need to get caught up to the point where you're doing the turning of the heel, so that I can make a video and teach my mom how to do that, so that, because she's like 9-hour drive away, so I want to be able to show her how to do it. But I need to get them to that point so then I can videotape it. And I'm probably not going to be sharing that video on YouTube. I'll probably just send it directly to her, and then, you know, we'll be happy. Things will work out. Socks. Sock it to me. Socks to be you. These are really awful, aren't they? They're just terrible. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. Let me get to the end of my row, and then I will move on to another question. But, let's see. Any more sock puns? My brain isn't working right now because I'm trying to fix my drop stitch. There we go. That's much better. much better. There we go. Almost to the end of the row. I also have to do counting at the next little go around, and I'm not going to do that on camera because that's really boring. Like, really boring. Bad. Okay. Pete T wants to know if you are going to hang out and share a special movie for you with me, what would it be and why? And my favorite, all-time favorite movie of all time is Singing in the Rain. And it's special to me because no matter what crappy things are going on in my life, no matter what like dark times I'm going through, no matter how bad life has gotten for me, and you know, can get pretty bad sometimes, if I watch that, it, at least for a short time, makes me happy, it makes me laugh, it puts a song in my heart, and so I love that movie, and I always will. If you're not into musicals, I don't think I'd make you watch it with me, just because I don't think you should put people that you like through things they don't like, just because you like it. So I'd have to choose a different movie at that point, but hopefully you like musicals, because then we could watch that. That would be awesome. Kryptonite says, tell us about any recent weird dreams. Well, weird dreams are sort of like de rigueur for me. It's like normal. What was the most recent one that I can remember, though? That's the thing, is usually I wake up and I'm like, well, that was weird, and then, you know, go on with my day. But sometimes I'm like, wow, yeah, that one was really weird, you know, like aliens and things like that, and rocking chairs, and just really weird things. You never know, though. Maybe I'll have a really weird dream tonight. I don't know. But yeah, usually they're a little bit off. um, Demonstrate a proper evil laugh. Okay, now I'm a big believer in having a good evil laugh. Whether you plan on taking over the world or not, you should at least have an evil laugh for, you know, those moments when you make somebody snort their coke out their nose. The drink. Yeah. So, because then that's only the only appropriate response. If you like said something funny, somebody snorts like a drink out of their nose, you have to laugh equally. It's a requirement. It's part of the job. So, and I've actually taught my boys how to do evil laughs, and they are quite amazing at it, I have to say. I'm really happy with their progress as far as the evil laugh category goes. So to do an evil laugh really good, it needs to come from deep in your gut. You need diaphragm control so that you're not, you know, with your laugh. It has to come all the way down from the bottom, like this. Yeah, so, yay, evil laughs. And everybody just turned off the right then, just right then. Because that was, yeah, special. What is the strangest thing I've accidentally stumbled on the internet? There's some pretty strange stuff out there. You know, Rule 34, if it exists. Or if you can think of it, it exists, yeah. It's, yeah. There are some things you can't unsee. I don't think I'm gonna mention them here, because then people will go looking, and really we don't need to drive more web traffic to these things. It's not a good look for us. Alright, so tell us a punny story and end with a pirate joke, also kryptonite. So I couldn't find my eye patch. This was one of the reasons I didn't do it on Wednesday. It's because I couldn't find an eye patch. So I crocheted one. That's right. I said crochet, not knit. I'm bistitual. Deal with it. And I would say it's not that bad, you know, looking at it. Let's see if I can pirate up this place. Alright. Arr! Okay, so there was this old sea captain who was being interviewed by a reporter. And she decided to start asking him questions about how he lost his leg, how he lost his hand, how he lost his eye, and she was hoping for some really exciting and interesting stories to come out of this. So she asks, how did you get that peg leg that you've got on your leg? And the pirate says, well, I was walking along on the deck and I sprained my ankle. Well, we didn't have a doctor on board, so we just cut it off. Put a peg on that. And she says, well, that's not very interesting or exciting. So she decides to ask him about his hand. Says, how did you lose your hand? And he says, well, I was cutting the vegetables for dinner, and I accidentally cut my hand. And again, we didn't have a doctor, so we cut it off, and now I've got me hook. She says, that's just not interesting at all, right? So then she asks, well, what about your eye? How did you lose that? And he says, well, I was out on deck, and I looked up, and a seagull pooped in my eye. And she says, that's why you wear an eye patch? And he says, well, you see, it was my first day with the hook. Arr. Have a fantastic night, you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.